These hills are home to one of China's treasures, Longjing green tea, or green tea from the Dragon's Well. Some of the tea trees here are 300 years old. Others, though, only lasted a few years. The scars of last summer's unprecedented drought are still visible. This region in southeast China experienced record temperatures for 3 months with little to no water. Hundreds of thousands of plants withered away.
This one died because of last year's drought. When I see it as a tea grower, it makes me really sad. It's as if a human life has been extinguished.
For Yang Xiaoqing, these tea trees are like her children. For months, she's been trying to repair the damage by planting new ones, but their chances of survival are slim.
If there is another major drought in the next 2 years, they could die. We can't know what's going to happen. We depend on the winds of the sky.
Her harvest has halved. To try and save some of the plants, Yang and her husband now install nets when the temperature rises. Though it's not quite enough for the most vulnerable plants.
Look at this one. Even if we take every possible precaution, the plant is drying out. We won't be able to save it. If we have consecutive heat waves, our plantations will continue to struggle.
Official numbers estimate that this year's spring tea harvest has fallen by 20% throughout the country. And it's not just about quantity, but also quality. Cheng Chongmu is an expert in Chinese tea. For him, the difference is obvious even to the naked eye.
You can see that there are far too many red leaves. There are also these scorch marks that make black spots. Last year's drought also made the leaves too thin.
This tea comes from Yunnan, the home province of the national beverage. It's a luxury product that must be dried, roasted, fermented, and pressed. Damaged leaves struggle to handle this long process.
Tea growers haven't adapted their harvesting, preservation, and heating methods to the new weather conditions. As a result, the flavour is less pronounced, less identifiable, when the process hasn't been done properly.
Scientists have been studying these changes in taste by monitoring the levels of polyphenol. The more there is of this plant compound, the more the tea will end up bitter.
Because of climate change, the temperatures rise, and so do the levels of polyphenol. So the quality of tea, especially green tea, is likely to decline.
This means the map of Chinese tea has been redrawn.
Rainfall is more abundant than before in the northwest, so tea plantations can flourish in those regions. In Yunnan, which is a region that traditionally grows tea, the dry seasons are longer and longer, so it's becoming less appropriate.
To cope with climate change, the biologist is selecting species that are most resistant to extreme weather. The current plantations are under close surveillance, with sensors constantly measuring humidity, silting, and temperatures.
This is our new irrigation system. We've installed it to resist drought. If the sensors detect that the humidity in the soil is too low, then the hoses are triggered automatically.
In 2022, drought was the problem, but this year it's the rain. In July, on some days, it rained the equivalent of the monthly average, which is not necessarily good news.
Look, there are so many more insects than last year.
Li Xin warns farmers about the consequences of climate change.
Last year, we had an extreme drought. This year, too much rain is bringing more insects and disease. So we need to keep an eye on all these changes so we can tailor our advice as closely as possible to farmers' needs.
In China, bouts of extreme weather are set to become longer and more intense in the coming years, threatening the entire tea industry. Some varieties could even disappear.